So in the last 5 years, 2016 to 2021, India made 30 unicorn startups. But you know one thing, the 13 out of 18 startups are funded by the Chinese investing firms like Ant Group, Tancent Group and SoftBank. These are the biggest investing firms in the Chinese industry and Chinese market right now, but they are invested a lots of money in Indian startups like Paytm, Zomato, Swiggy, Ola, Flipkart, all like that. So how they make a billions of dollars and why they are interested that much in Indian economy. So let's see in this video. So if you want to all these things to know, so this video is for you. So we have to go in the past. So in past 20 years, India received a massive $456 billion of funding through the FDI, which is foreign direct investments. It's mean the foreign countries investing firms invest in our country's startup to boost their money, also to grow our startup also. So after that, you know one thing, the $456 billion, it is the principal amount invested by the countries whole around the world. But out of $456 billion, the majority of it, the 72% invested by 5 majority countries, and these are the Netherlands, Mauritius, USA, UK and Japan. These 5 countries invested majority of it. But if you notice that the period of the 2001 to 2016, China interested a very less amount in the Indian market because of India don't have an internet at that time. India have an internet, but they don't have internet users. So that's why the China invested only 0.51% out of $456 billion, which is $2.81 million. It is a very less portion of these investing firms because they have a lots of big giant investing firms. So why are China interested after 2006 in the Indian economy that much? Because the reason is the internet. After 2016, the Jio launched in 2016 in the September to 2016 March. In the 6-month period, totally internet boosted and internet revolution happens in Indian economy or Indian history. Totally in India has so many consumers gained in the 6 months. Now we have 400 million internet users. And Chinese investors also know the potential of these internet users and the business strategy around it. So that's why they interested very much in the Indian economy after 2016. So when the Chinese firms comes along and they decided to invest in Indian economy, so there are 2 types of investments are there. Number 1 is greenfield investments and other one is equity investments. So first of all, we know about the greenfield investments. So greenfield investments, which means they set up their factories here and they produce their product here and they sell in the Indian market and whole around the India, and they make a money. But you know one thing, we just employed to their companies, but they originally make money and this money goes to directly to the China. It means the Chinese firms make a lots of money and Chinese companies also make a lots of money through our Indian economy and Indian businesses. And because of the internet boom, there is no rival for the Vivo, Oppo and Xiaomi, these mobile phones. Only the Samsung is the rival because the Lava and Micromax, there is no big giants because the people don't like the phone that much, the Microsoft and Lava, and they don't have that much funding to expand their market and to market their mobile phones. So that's why the Xiaomi, Vivo and Oppo got their places, and they make a huge tons of money to the Indian market. And at that time, the 2016 to 2018 period, so this time is internet is busted totally, the 4G internet, and the hype of internet is comes along and everyone on the 4G mobile at the cheap price. So that's why these 3 companies provided to their mobile, Xiaomi, Vivo, Oppo, and they just make a money. So these are called the greenfield investments, and this is the greenfield investments of Chinese companies. So after that, second number is equity investments. So in the period of the 2016 to 19, in these 3 years, China made a lots of money. Chinese investment firms invested $380 million in Indian startups at the end of 2019. So they make a $4.6 billion, which is a 1200% return. It is a 12x growth in his investments. It's a huge. So the after 2K19, lots of startups made unicorns invested by Chinese investing firms. After that, the investing firms of China invested like Ant Group invested in 5 majority Indian startups, and that is a Paytm, Big Basket and Zomato also, and all other 2 companies also. So they invested a huge money on these companies. They are not disclosed this amount, how much amount they invested in this company. So after that, his rival is a Tancent Group. The Tancent Group also invested $2.6 billion in this 5 startups, and those are the Swiggy, Hike is failed, we know that. After that, Ola and Flipkart and all other two companies. So these are the 5 companies they invested, and they invested in 2019. So after that, the 2020 happens. In the 2020, you know that the Galwan Ghati resolved. So after that, the Indian government noticed that the Chinese investing firms, like all other firms, they are heavily investing in Indian startups, and they make money, a lots of money, because India is growing because of the internet consumers, and the people are accepting, all people are now joining the all over payment gateways and shopping from the Flipkart, Amazon, like that. So that's why the people are knowing, and they using the Chinese products so that much. So that's why the Indian government noticed that thing, and they stopped the Chinese investment forever. But the Chinese investment firms already invested a lots of money, like Paytm, Zomato, Swiggy, Ola, Flipkart, like that companies, and they make a tons of money from it, and they already invested. So if they want to invest, so they just invest from other countries, like they investing from Pakistan, Mauritius, and all other countries. So here the question is, why Chinese investing firms like Tancent Group and Ant Group, so why they are interested in Indian economy and Indian startups? So the reason number one, the China's market is already developed and India's market is still developing. So the potential of this market, because of this internet users, so they know the potential of this market, so that's why they invest a heavy amount of money in Indian startups. So that is reason number one. So the reason number two is, the market demands of the Indian market and the Chinese market are both of the same, because the India's imports from the China, like lightings and fatakes and Diwali stuff and all like that, these comes from the Chinese country. Okay, we know that the imports are very much lots of times is greater than India, because the China import a very less amount of it, but India imports a very large amount of it. Lot of things like lightings and bulbs of Chinese things, we know that the batteries and all like that stuff, the Chinese business. So that's why the market demands of the both market, the Chinese market and Indian market, are the same. So that's why they believe what they made in China through the internet and through the internet users, so they also make in India. So that's why they invest so heavily in this India. The third reason is a main reason, because we have a lots of brilliant students from MITs and IITs. So out of it, the brilliant students come from them, but they have an idea, but our Indian investors don't believe that tech startups, and they don't risk their money to invest it. So that's why they come to the Chinese investing firms, and they invest a heavily amount of it, and they got equity, let's say 40%, 30%, whatever it is, and sometimes they got majority investments. So that's why they fund their idea, and they just convert that startup in the future into cash flows, and they make a tons of money. So here is the three reasons. So these are the two categories invested by the Chinese firms: greenfield and equity investments. So if you understand this video well, so let me know in the comment. If you like this video, so make this YouTube algorithm happy to spread this video around the YouTube also. So if you have an advice to me, so to make this video better, so let me know in the comment also, and share this video as much as you want, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.